Oh, yes. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, good night to some of you, depending on your place of domicile. We are live and we are direct. It is 13 minutes before the top of the hour, regardless of your place of domicile. We are live and we are direct. If you are joining us on Facebook at Judge Money Blog, invite and alert other people to join. If you are joining us on YouTube at Judge Money Blog Africa. Invite other people to join. Very, very important. We have, of course, you can see what we have here in front of us, which is exactly what we are going to be bringing to the table. We are going to be discussing this. We are going to be discussing this because it has become very, very imperative that we talk with regards to this issue because I found a lot of interesting comment, you know, made by Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, and that is the reason why I bring him back to the screen so that we will be able to navigate those comments because it is very, very necessary that na atụpụ nkịta akpịrị egosi ya ka ọ hafụ ịdị aka atụrụ ya mbọ. Those who never agree with us before, they will begin to agree with us if they are ignorant, will ever allow them to agree with us because we are on a just cause and we are fighting a just cause and we will continue to do what we do best, which is exposing the atrocities and the ignorance of some people. And that is what I am also here to do this afternoon, this evening, this morning, depending on where you are watching from. Try to share the video and alert other people to join. While you are joining this program, share the video, invite others to come. If you are watching on YouTube, click the like button for the algorithm to help in sharing. So there is something, something that this guy said, that prompted me to bring him to your screen, and we are going to begin with that, analysis immediately because I don't want to spend more than an hour here. Now, let us go there. Let us go there. I want you to see this interview. Of course, so many of you, I don't know if you might have come across it, but I want us to talk about it. I want us to talk about it. Now, listen attentively to your actor, politician, lawyer, living in bondage man.
Well, I believe as a lawyer that what APC did is unconstitutional. By the express provisions of the Constitution, Section 15, subsection 1, that defined the political objectives of Nigeria, talked about our motto, unity, faith, peace, and progress. Subsection 2 said, accordingly, national...
You say it talks about our motto, unity, peace, and fairness. Okay. The motto you are talking about, why is it that the motto talks about unity? The reason why the motto you talked about in your constitution, the motto of your constitution, which is like the drive or the emblem or the teaching of your constitution, states that you should have unity. Why does it talk about unity? It talks about unity because these are the people whom does not understand each other, both in religious beliefs, both in culture, both in understanding, intellectually, they do not have anything in common. That is the reason why the amalgamation placed a motto there that talked about peace. Peace. Because this peace that is talking about is something that you are praying for. Instead of praying for you know, for the country, to move forward, instead of the praying for the country to go or transition into the fourth industrial revolution or be able to compete with the first world countries because of the excessive mineral resources that they were blessed with, you are praying for peace. That is exactly what you just quoted right now. You are praying for peace instead of praying for growth of the nation. Your motto talks about peace because there is no peace and there can never be peace. How can there be peace with somebody who does not see you as a person? They see you as unbeliever because they are bigotries. They see you as unbeliever. If you don't believe in what they believe in, you are not as equal human being as them. You are an infidel. That is the reason why the Constitution motto preach peace. First thing is first is peace, and there can never be peace. So that is the reason why I pause it here. I am going to play the video. I am going to allow it to roll. Then we talk about the video.
Integration shall be actively encouraged, whilst discrimination on the basis of place of origin, religion, ethnic, linguistic, etc., shall be prohibited. Use the word prohibited. Then, if you descend to 3D subsection, he said the state shall have a duty in pursuance to the pursuit of national integration, shall encourage the forming of associations that cut across ethnic, linguistic, and religious barriers. The concept of the presidency implies an association between the president and the vice. Section 142 made it clear that the president, before he is duly nominated, shall find an associate who shall be his vice president. So the concept of the presidency is an association. And the state has a duty to ensure that when you are forming that association, it must cut across religious barriers. Look at subsection 4 of that beautiful section. He said that the state shall promote a feeling of belonging and involvement amongst the
A state shall promote a feeling of belonging. When Buhari was voted in 2015, his statement, is it in line with this constitution that APC candidate emeritus is quoting to us right now? When he joined, when he became your leader in 2015, he made a statement which states that he will only, the people who voted for him, which are the northern people, will have something like that. I will not be able to quote him the same way he quoted it or verbatim. That are the people that will have his attention first. Is it in line with the constitution this APC member emeritus is quoting to us today? Because he was there. He was a member of APC when all these things were being violated, when all this constitutional right of the country is being violated, the right of making everybody to be in, or he talked about making sure that there is no exclusion in be it in religious belief system or be it ethnicity exclusion. He talked about it. But Buhari, during the time he was voted in, he started ethnicity exclusion. He started on that note. And you were there, you did not say anything. When we talk about Biafra, because we were excluded, you come, you descended on the people of Biafra, you started insulting us, you started saying all manner of things against this movement because you never felt it. And the same way you are feeling it right now is the same way that every other person that does not believe in this movement, the reason why we are doing what we are doing, is going to feel it. It just takes time to adjust. If somebody tell you today that Mr. Living in Bondage is going to come back and start quoting against APC through using the Constitution of Nigeria, which they have been violating the Constitution. It is in violation of Constitution of Nigeria that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is languishing in the DSS dungeon. It is the violation of Nigeria Constitution that a child which was taken in by so-called security operatives, which is that child was kidnapped in a real sense. Now that child, they put him in they put the child, a female child for that matter, in a holding cell of the DSS dungeon, instead of taking the child to juvenile, where she's supposed to serve her, if she did something. They violated the right of that child. That is called child abuse. And today the child happened to be pregnant in the custody, who impregnated the child of less than 15 years old. Violation of Nigeria Constitution. And because whoever that quotes Constitution are those Constitution, they have violated through the Constitution, they will now remember that there is something called violation of Constitution. And that is exactly what this guy is coming to tell us today, because maybe he was expecting to be nominated as your president, as part of the presidency. Of course, they don't know that they are the people who are supposed to have the back seat, because they are Biafrans. And when we remind them that they are Biafrans, they will not agree with us, because they are chasing after a shadow. You can never catch a wind, because what you people are hoping for, you are hoping on something that does not exist, because Christianity told you to have faith, not according to Jordan. But let us continue. Let us continue.
Various peoples of Nigeria, to the end that loyalty to the nation shall override sectional loyalties.
Yeah, I mean, we had a senator who was here and he pointed out all of that.
Very good. So how does Muslim ticket at the presidency encourage integration, involvement, and participation of the Christians in Nigeria in the politics of Nigeria? And you know what? Section 17 made it clear. He said the state social order shall be founded on the ideals of freedom, equality, and justice. Equality amongst the religions and even in the population. The religion is almost 100 million versus 100 million.
Okay.
So how do you say it? And let me descend to the constitution of APC. Being a former member of the Presidential Campaign Council, the APC summarized it and even made it more strong.
That's in its constitution.
Constitution of APC.
Okay.
He said the APC should build a nation that will guarantee political stability, respect and understanding, mutual and peaceful coexistence.
Which Buhari violated in 2015. Okay.
And equal opportunities to all.
So we're heading towards political instability, even if the APC wins. That's what you're saying.
It is very, very plain. When you have the president and the vice of a religion, no matter what you do, you are already flawed. You cannot, it's unappeasable.
Now, can't we balance that with maybe the president of the Senate
Yes.
and a speaker of the House of Representatives coming from the Christian faith or maybe even traditionalists? What if the candidate is already thinking towards that to create a balance through those positions?
Elementary government will teach you that there are three different arms of government:
Okay, yes.
executive, legislature, and judiciary. These
Okay.
arms are equal and opposite, and they are separate. So why would you talk about balancing the legislature with the executive? No, they are not an association.
But today, hey, today, who controls the judiciary? Who controls the judiciary? Is judiciary independent body? No, judiciary is not an independent body. In these three arms of government, judiciary is supposed to be independent, executive independent, and whichever the other one independent. But who controls the judiciary? The same executives. Why are they controlling judiciary? Which is the same reason why Bintanyaku read the presidential order in court on the 28th of July, on the 28th of June, rather, which extended the stay of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to November 14th. Because now the executives, or whatever you may call it, is interfering with the judiciary, which is violating that three arms of government that is supposed to be independent on their own. Are you paying attention? So these people, most of the time, they present things that will violate, their teaching. They present it. But let us continue listening to them, because this is APC candidate emeritus. He is quoting for you Nigeria Constitution as a lawyer. He is quoting for you APC Constitution as a member emeritus of APC. And that is the reason why we are now bringing it together to judge them according to their quotes and according to their constitutional agreement. Let us continue.
You balance the executive with the executive. You balance the legislature with the legislature. You balance the judiciary with the judiciary. That is the concept of the federal character and zoning arrangement. Even in the judiciary, where it is by appointment.
You balance legislature with legislature. You balance the judiciary with the judiciary. Not legislature balancing the judiciary, nor the executive balancing the judiciary, because they are independent body on their own. But today, President the mask wearer, who does not even know Nigeria Constitution, what he says, the only thing he might know is Boko Haram Constitution or ISWAP or ISIS, or there are more than 9 terrorist groups in Nigeria. Mietiala Constitution, that is the only thing that mask wearer or imposter in Asorok knows. And that is the reason why. But I am beginning to ask myself, what are the, on what ground do you choose a judge, a presiding judge of a court of law in Nigeria? Because if you look at it now, these three arms of government that you have in Nigeria, none of them is independent. Does that mean there is no three arms of government? We only have the dictatorship regime. Because the dictatorship regime is the one that controls every, arms of government. It is direct order. It is like military regime. Because that is exactly what is playing out in Nigeria today. Because I don't understand. You say legislature supposed to be on their own, judiciary on their own, executive on their own. But today we are seeing different things, and you are only here, only today that you have seen, because APC never treated you right. You come here to tell us all these things that we already know. But now, that brings me back to these things that I always say, that people from the eastern region or southern region, they do not know politics. Politics is make sure you champion what you believe in. If you see Donald Trump, when he was being elected into office, or when he was campaigning to be the president of America, there were women ask him a question. Does that mean when you go into the office, does it mean abortion will be criminalized? He said, yes, abortion is going to be against the law. He did not dispute it he did not polish it for you to buy your vote. He told you he practiced what he preached. I might not be able to quote it the way it was, but I am explaining it to you the way it was. He cannot come and tell you, no, I will make people will be having abortion because I want to be a president. When I become a president, now I will now limit people from having abortion because now I actually, stole. I think you will call it you tricked your way into being a president, or you buy your way into being a president, because what you promise the people is not what you are presenting to the people or what you are discharging. You are discharging something different from what you have told the people. Now, this is exactly what all these Southern leaders are doing in this politics. Before you become a politician, you should know your agenda. You should know what you want. You should know what you want to give to the people. Don't pretend. The problem of our people, you always try to pretend so that it will be in favor of your Fulani counterpart. It will be in favor of your Fulani counterpart. When you go there now, it is your agreement that you will be working under, just like Hope Uzodinma. Agreement of the Fulani counterpart was to make sure that he kill his people in order to be in line with the presidency. The same thing with Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State. You must kill Biafrans in order, he pretended he want to. He said he will, hoping that it will change when he go in. But you don't know that now when you go in, military will be trooping in, killing those people. And you, as an evil man as you are, instead of standing up to condemn the act, you will not. Instead of standing up to condemn the mistake, if it was indeed a mistake that you are making, you will not. Just like Peter Obi is ranting all over the place today. You don't recognize the agitation in your path. Charity, they say, begins from home. But you recognize that Nigeria is in pieces. You recognize that you want to unify Nigeria. But you cannot unify people from your own area. That is the type of politics that Nigeria is playing. People from the south is playing. And you believe that you can use manipulation to get into politics. And that is the same politics that Africa at large is playing, which has never allowed you to transition into the era of 4IR, the era of being innovative, the era of being, having a branding called Africa, the era of being able to, compete with the first world countries. Because you are playing, manipulating your ways into politics instead of playing politics for what you believe in. You cannot tell me, the reason why IPOB is formidable today, the reason why IPOB is formidable, I will tell you. I will give you this secret. And if you take it to the bank, it will cash. The reason why we are formidable today is that when you come to pretend to us, you want to use a pretense in order to come into what we are doing. We finish you off. We drop you on the way. We sideline you. We are not pretenders. We tell the world what we want. You demand for your right. You don't start pretending to ask for your right. That is how the world is being governed. And that is the reason why the first world country will continue to lead the world, because they tell you the way it is. and take it to the bank, return it, it will cash. And you will see this is the same thing they told you they're going to do, that they are going to do. If they go out of line, the people who gave them that position will call them and tell them, no, you are no longer in line with the promises that you made to us. Because what you practice, what you preach is what you are going to practice when you get there. Now you want us Biafrans that you are rejecting. You know, that is why when I look at you people who are politicians in the southern region of Nigeria, I see all of you as a bunch of illiterates. Of course, you people bribed your way into having diploma, certificate, all these things you people are presenting. You people bribed your way into it. Because if you did not bribe your way into it, you will understand that when you go to United States, you need to adopt their own way of politics, which has enabled them to, even to the extent of them being in line with the integration of every level of, revolution, be industrial revolution, in every ramification. You can never compete with them because you are living a lie. They are living reality. This is the same thing that is making you go back. And Britain gave these things to Fulani as a guideline. The only way you can win, you can build a community, you can build trust in your community. Preach, just like Buhari said in 2015. Attack on Boko Haram is attack on the north. Just like Kunle and is it Bamishi or who the APC candidate, APC running mate, Tinubu's running mate. Just like he was saying to Kunle, he said to Kunle, now good luck want to reduce the northern population by killing Boko Haram. And that is the reason why they remove good luck. They make sure good luck is not there. Because these people know that you advocate for what you are going to discharge. You can, and that is the reason why all these governors in the eastern region, they find it very difficult to thrive. They find it very, very difficult to thrive. You go and before you become a governor, you go and promise Fulani, thinking that you will do otherwise when you go there. All you need is, let me get the position first. Why do you need to suck Fulani's bam before you become a governor of your state? Why do you need to bribe your way into being a leader if you are indeed want to be a good leader? A good leader cannot bribe their way into being a leader. They just let out the guidelines that they will use to govern. If people love it, they go for it. But you don't have any guidelines other than lies. Now, this takes me back to what is going on right now as a campaign that is going on in Nigeria from these three candidates or these three giants, APC, PDP, and whichever one, this other one, Labour Party of Peter Obi. Peter Obi, we are telling you like with a loud voice, you don't recognize your people. Your people will never recognize you. You as a Peter Obi, if you want to be the leading figure, you should represent your people. Biafra is your people. Without Biafra, you are going nowhere. Without Biafrans, you are going nowhere. No matter how much you pretend that Biafra does not exist, Biafra will pretend that you don't exist. Third class upper. That's how it is. That is the reason why Ojukwu just in the north the other day. No nya juru agaghị ajụ onwe ya. No nya juru agaghị ajụ onwe ya. You have abandoned your people, yet you are clamoring for presidency. And who are those who are going to give you their support? The people that you have killed, the people that you have abandoned. That is to show you that there is no leader that you will find in Nigeria that will lead you with honesty, because they are all dishonest. When you talk about the one who call himself Jagaban, that have stolen all the money that is in Lagos State, he's a World Bank himself. If you don't know Tinubu, he's a World Bank. You talk about him. Why? What is the reason why you want to become Nigeria president? Because it is my turn. Buhari came first one, came second one. The third one, I supported him, he win. Now it is my turn. And all of you looked at it. You find it fun. You find it like this guy is on it. And believe me, he is being honest. He is being honest. It is his turn, because all the cabals that he built, they have, rule over you. They never led you. They rule over you. Now it is his turn to rule over you. It is not his turn to fix, to bring Boko Haram down, because, of course, the people who are promising him the power. I've already given him guideline to the extent they chose a running mate for him that he never spoke. He never even seen this running mate. He did not see this running mate one-on-one. He said, I have never spoken to him. He never spoken to your running mate, but you chose him. What does that tell you? That Nigeria is a ghost. Nigeria is a ghost. It does not exist. Your vice president, you have never spoken to him, but you have chosen him. How come? How did he come by? Did you wake up in the dream and you chose him in your dream? Or the cabals now presented you the name? This is the one you must choose. Cabals. To show you that no matter what you do in Nigeria, you are being led by Fulani. No matter who sits there, you are being led by Fulani. Be it Jagaban. Jagaban, of course, is an old man. Any heart attack, they will give him heart attack. He will be in coma. Fulani will continue to lead you. Peter Obi, they will make him mama. He will lead from the of course, the Bamish or whoever that has told him that you are going to only lead the Igbos. You are going to only lead the Igbos. You are not being Nigeria president, because in APECA, you are too small to be Nigeria president. Because why? You are a Biafran. You are a Biafran. That is the reason why you cannot be Nigeria president. Rather, you can only be Biafran. Of course, you can be our president as a Biafran, because you are not honest. You are not honest. An honest man will first of all recognize the problem he is facing, the challenges he is facing within his surroundings, and engage with the problem and find a way to navigate the problem before extending the to solve the problem of others. You don't have what it takes to be Biafran leader, I can assure you. And the Fulani say you don't have what it takes to be Nigeria leader. So where are you going to be now? You see yourself, you are standing alone. You are standing alone. That's what that's what it is, not actually what it looks like. You people violate people who are supposed to give you power. And now you manipulate yourselves into power again and again and again. And you, as a Nigeria, stupid young Nigeria, which they tell you, they call you the future leaders of tomorrow, or you are the future of that zoological republic. When these old people who will not be in the future are destroying the future, you are watching them, helping them to destroy the future where you are going to be, where they will not be present there. You are helping them destroy it. And when they talk to you, you believe you are intelligent. When you look at yourself, you call yourself a celebrity. I am a celebrity. You are a young celebrity. Your future is still to come. You are allowing those old hag to destroy the future that they will not be present in right before your eyes. And tomorrow, when they ask you, do you understand the meaning of generational curse? You will say no. Pastor say we have generational curse. Therefore, we have to pray against generational curse. Let me explain to you, both you young and old people, both you political class and followers. The meaning of generational curse is that, you see, the man in Aso Rock is creating generational curse for all of you who are one Nigerianist. That is generational curse. Because when he destroys your future, when you arrive in that future that he destroyed, instead of you walking in line with what is trending in that time, you will actually be grappling to fix the future which this imposter destroyed 10 years ago or maybe 20 years ago. You will be trying to fix that future while others or other nations are busy integrating fourth, fifth industrial revolution, 5IR, everything is in order, integration. Huh? Just one moment, and then hold on. Hmm? So, sorry for that interruption. I am actually doing this from home, so I'm bound to be interrupted. So, um, something came up. So, but I believe we will be allowed to finish what we are doing. So, just like I was saying, when they interrupt your future, the interruption that they did to your future is what is called generational curse. The sins of your ancestors, because you did not make sure that those your ancestors are those like these people who are ruling over you, they are your ancestors. The sins of your father is that your father did not stand up to advocate for the right of the future generation. Then you will now be walking in line with the mistakes of your father. Instead of you standing up today to say Nigeria is not working, Biafra is the only hope where we are going to build, and we are with a fresh mind, We are going to build this nation. And this nation, we will understand the grassroots of this nation that we are building as these people who have faced the challenges in Nigeria, and we know what we have faced, and we know how to navigate those problems when we see them in future, and we know how to advocate against injustices, against inequality. Then if you are able to put these things together, there is nothing like generational curse. Generational curse is not something, if you pray from 90, 100 years, there is no such thing to curb generational curse. Generational curse is in the mind. Seek ye first the kingdom. The kingdom is in your head. Once your head is in order, every other thing you are doing is going to be in order, because your head is the kingdom that you must seek. The knowledge that comes out of your head is the knowledge that will put you through in everything you do. So there is no such thing as generational curse. It doesn't exist. It is the things that you allow people to do before you. Those are the things that you are going to meet in future. Onye nwa ka asị na onye nyuchie nsu ụzọ ọ natawa ya na ijiji ezuo. Onye kpata nkụ arụrụ si ngwala bịara ọrịrị. That is the same way of that talking about generational curse. So if you abandon Biafra and chase for PVC, you are creating generational curse for your children. If eventually you convince me, you convince every other Biafra, no, it is no longer Biafra, it is PVC. We go for PVC, which is this guy that is going to be there. He is a Fulani slave. That is the reason why he killed Biafrans in Anambra State and dumped their bodies in the river. No, that is exactly what is going on. He killed Biafrans and dumped their bodies in the river during the time he was Anambra State governor. Now, if you now decide to forget all those things and you say, you convince me, you convince every other person, you convince the leadership, you convince every other person that it is not PVC is going to give us Biafra. And we now blindly, we start following you. We say, okay, PVC, PVC. At the end of the day, you get PVC and you give your support to a Fulani slave. You have created the worst, the worst of them, of generational curse. That's how it works. Seek you first the kingdom. The knowledge is on top of you, on top of your shoulder. If you understand it, then you will be able to navigate this world and you will be able to reap the benefits of this world. Otherwise, you continue to create generational wealth, generational curse. As the law of Exodus states, okay, the sins of the father, later the first and the third and fourth generation, it is only the mistakes of them, their mistakes, their wrong decisions. That is the sin. They are wrong decisions. I will use the wrong decision of your father to visit you as the next generation, because now, instead of you walking in the footstep of your father's generational wealth, you are walking on the footstep of your father's generational curse, generational mistakes. That is it. So, is it PVC for Fulani slave? Or is it Biafra for our freedom? The question that you need to be asking yourself each and every day. You ask yourself, is it PVC for Fulani slave? Or is it Biafra that we are going to build? The Biafra that we are going to build as young people who have been in the forefront on the receiving end of all these injustices, all this inhuman treatment, all this violation that has been happening prior to the time of your birth till date. You are feeling all these spikes. Is it the Biafra that we are going to shape in our own terms as young people? Or is it PVC that they will promise you heaven on earth. When they go there, they give you hellfire on earth. So let us continue to listen to this guy because he is actually bringing it up. What we are going to use to judge him and his belief, which is his Nigeria counterpart. Let us continue.
They still take note of our federal character. And the conduct of affairs of every government must reflect that federal character. So you cannot.
There was a call actually for a southern presidency,
Yes.
and we've got someone from the south in a very big party. In fact, the governing party. Why would someone like you want to leave that governing party when there's a southern candidate just because of the issues of religion? Because I mean, some others are saying that these are issues that can be settled if eventually the South gets the presidency.
As a young man of 24, it pleased the Almighty God to bless me with fame and fortune. I happen to be the first actor that acted the first movie that started in Hollywood. You do not contemplate that I will enter politics for myself. Self-aggrandizement. No. Nigeria is my pursuit in politics, and I will keep searching for it until I find it. So whatever you want to give me as a person is secondary. Give me Nigeria, give me stability, give me employment to the youths, give me sense of belonging, give me participation of everybody, and you would have made my day. I was in APC all this while. I did everything. I erected the secretariat of APC in my ward, in my local government.
I saw you defending Buhari even when it was
Good.
Very difficult for a lot of his persons to
Beautiful.
defend him in the southeast.
APC has
He saw him defending Buhari, even when Buhari was a failure. Because I am not quoting him verbatim, but I am actually telling you for what it is. He saw him defending Buhari, just like Loretta Onochie is doing today. Just like Loretta Onochie is doing today. As you can see, defending this imposter in Aso Rock blindly, because she is benefiting from Fulani, from her Fulani counterpart. They are using her as a slave and giving her what she wants, which is limitation, enriching her for now. But she is not thinking about the younger ones that she's going to leave behind. This is the selfishness of African leaders. This is the selfishness of African people, which we see as our influencers. This is what they do. It is all about them. It is not about the younger generation. And it is up to the younger generation, because this is the time that the younger generations need to now take their destiny into their hands, defend their destiny, defend their future. Tell themselves, in the past 60 years, we have been experiencing such failure from a system created and given to us and forced down to our throat on our, by the British oligarchy. And this system is being nurtured by nomadic people in the name of Fulani. That every other person, before you will become even a governor or any political, position in Nigeria, you must pay your allegiance to this Fulani. This Fulani you are paying your allegiance to. In your mind, you believe you are wiser than them. Let me go and do this. It's all about doing this. Let me just go and pay allegiance to them. Now, after that, you have entered into agreement. Agreement that they need to, even once you become a governor or anything position you hold, they can do whatever they want into your state without you knowing what you have entered into. By the time you realize it, you will look around you. Nobody is behind, nobody is following you except the ones you will give money to follow you. That's how it is. Everyone will turn against you, including them themselves. Because if you sell your people, You have shown them that you are not to be trusted. That is why politics, you should always practice what you preach or preach what you believe in. Do it whether you win or not. One day you will find people who will who will be with you in your belief system. That is how politics, real politics, works in the Western world. And that is the reason why you can never compare African politics with Western world politics. Let's continue.
Has done nothing for me personally. Have you ever seen me complain? And I'm not going to complain.
So what party are you moving to?
I am not contemplating any party yet. But I must have to tell you, a friend of mine, a northern brother of mine from Kano State, when he learned I was coming to this program, he told me that I must be obicentric going forward.
You should join the obedient movement.
Good. This is a northern Muslim talking. Anybody that is telling you that northern Muslims will not support Christians is telling you false statement. And that is the problem with bringing octogenarians to manage your party and manage the affairs of government. Senator Adamu,
have you joined the obedience team?
I am obicentric, but I have not joined any party because that is the ticket that has actually provided for me that stability, that youthful energy that we need to change the system of Nigeria
But
at
it
this
doesn't.
time.
APC and PDP says it's just an internet sensation. I mean, social media buzz. And of course, that, for example, on Saturday, when the Osun State governorship election will be held, that you will see where Labour Party will be, and it won't be among the top 3 or something like that. When they say such things, what do you say to them?
Do you remember the time that APC was campaigning in 2015? They were the originators of internet sensation. And so why are they crying if it is not making any impact? When I read business administration, they taught me that the strategy of marketing starts with drawing attention. We call it the IADA principle. Attention, interest, desire before action.
Because they use you when they want to use you. You don't get it. You will be used in a department where it is your energy is required, or where your competency is required. That is the politics of Fulani for you. They will use you at that point in time. After using you, they will dump you like a, they will dump you like a little, what do you call it? When you go to beach house, you use them, you give them what they want at that time, you dump them, maybe you will come back to them whenever you want. That's how they are using the Southern people. They are using your competency. They are using it the way you are using Ashawo. That's how they are using you guys. Whenever they feel like they need your competency, hey, they will invite you, pay you for that competency. After using it, they dump you like Ashawo. That one day. Let's continue. So you shouldn't start crying right now, whether you made the online or the internet for APC in 2015. That is what they needed you for. And you are done for that job. You started living in bondage, which what you are, you are known for. Onye ọbụna reject eziokwu nne ya, if you reject the truth of your father, when you reject the truth of your father, the land will pay you back. Because what you people are doing, you are rejecting your people. You are rejecting the truth of your father and expecting to get blessings from the land. Hey, that is not true. You are embracing the truth of unknown and expecting the truth of unknown to do magic for you. It does not work that way. You must acknowledge where you come from first. Seek ye first the kingdom. Every other thing will be added unto thee. Let's continue. Let's hear if you still have something to say that we will use.
So stimulating attention of the people is the first thing you have to do when you want to market a product.
And Obi is doing that
They
well.
are doing it effectively well. And that is why those people are rattled.
Okay, as we try to round off this conversation, we've seen a lot of actors like you pitching their tent with this same presidential candidate that you're running away from. I mean,
Oh, does he even have a church? Someone commented that he even sent people out. I don't see comment a lot in this program that I am running on right now, but the comment comes very small. So, but when I zoom, I saw this one, and I also saw some umwekwensu, umwefulefu that makes it hard. That is my drive. Keep it coming. Those insults, keep it coming because it is my drive. If I don't see it, I don't feel comfortable. For those umwekwensu, keep it coming. Agnes said that Biafrans made him popular, not the Arewa. He even sent Biafrans out from his church in Abuja. Wow. Is that really true? Is that really true? He does he have a church? He's a pastor, lawyer, politician, actor, one person. Oh, jack of all trade, master of none. That's exactly what he is. He chased Biafrans out of his church. He should invite Fulani to attend his church. Then, you know, he should actually invite Fulanis to attend his church and leave their Muslim. So let us continue.
so if you're going away, some of your colleagues are going to Tinubu and all of that. What do you make of such moves?
They are making the moves as actors, simplicity, that are entitled to the appearance fee.
So they're acting movies.
You can say that again. I
So
am
there's
making
an
my
element of
movie.
deception there.
I wouldn't say that with you, but they have the right to go in as actors and ask for the appearance fee. I am going in as a politician that understands the rudiments and implications of the decisions I'm making today for my future and the future of my children yet unborn.
Tinubu had got a bishop or a pastor like Buhari did and all of that. Do you think that the Southeast would have voted for him? Other parts of the country would have voted, because I mean, we saw Buhari and Oshibanjo, and yet the Southeast, a lot of politicians, they were trying to run away from that. A lot of persons were still tied to PDP and all of that. Do you think by doing that, that can resolve any issues for Tinubu?
Now, PDP has been the greatest fraud on Southeast, and that was one of the reasons why I left the party. I told my people PDP was going to ruin them politically, and PDP has done just that.
Wow.
They have been sheepishly following PDP from 1999, giving them 95% of their votes, whether it is a Fulani Muslim or a Christian from South, or it was PDP all through. Now, PDP, after 24 years, did not even consider them qualified, not for the presidency, not for the vice presidency, and in the ticket of the presidency, for a party they sacrificed all, they got nothing. So PDP,
Yokowa are not Igbo enough for you.
Ifan Yokowa is not from Southeast. When you talk about Joe,
Now, this is exactly another place that I want to talk about, because when you hear them, when they are doing their political manipulation, remember after the war, Britain, the reason why some of our people, Bundeli, just like one pastor said, he called them Ndeli. You see a person speaking Igbo, he tell you he's from South. He's not Igbo. So now they asked them to divide this eastern region into two geopolitical zone, which is southeast and south. Now, after that, they now selected Ifeanyi Okowa and now telling you he's Igbo, which means he's from southeast, in order to Igbo presidency, to use him for Igbo, to console you for Igbo presidency, because it must not come from that place they call southeast. because they believe that Southeast are people who actually, you know the type of mosquito that is biting them, and they start speaking first. The other ones, maybe they still pretending. That is according to the belief of Fulani man. So that is exactly, they're not telling you if Ifanyo Okowa he's not from Southeast, even though he's Igbo. And that is exactly what it is in politics of Nigeria, because when they were dividing Eastern region, they gave it a geopolitical zone, which is South, South, Southeast. So when they are also doing their politicking in Nigeria, they should also work according to that division. It is us as people outside politics that will be able to tell our story. That whether you are Ogoni, Igodomi Igodo, or you are from wherever, whether they call you coastal region, that all of you, we are one people. The only thing that divided us is that the Britain told Fulani, divide these people so that they will no longer be together, have the same language in order to speak it, and now start a war again in Nigeria. That is the reason why they divided you. But coming into dividing the national cake or the national right, they will remember that you people are one. They will remember it is a good message that he is giving you guys here. It come to national cake, they remember these are one people. But now we are not going to go to those people who are crying Igbo presidency. Let's just do it from the other side, because we need to aggravate them. We need to make them to know that they don't belong. We need to make them to know that they are minority. We need to make them to understand that they should go to hell for all they care. That is exactly telling it to your face. You are not part of us. But in other way, using one stone to kill one stone to kill two birds. Now they're going to your brother, which they divided you and him, acting as if they are giving them sense of belonging, so that two of you will start competing with one another. And that is exactly what they have done here. And the competition has just begun. Are you paying attention? While you are busy competing with one another, Fulani is busy ravaging you, taking over your right of a human being, violating every right that you have. It is a strategy of delay strategy. Let us continue.
Political zoning. You are talking about geographical expressions. You're not
He
talking
says
about
he's a full Igbo. It's
that.
just that he finds himself in Delta State.
Good.
Which happens to be in the South.
Good.
Very quickly before we end.
Then it will be very, it wouldn't be, it would accord to justice for him to take things that will come from South in the name of Igbo, and then come back to take things that will come to Southeast in the name of Igbo. There are Yorubas in North Central, in Kwara State. Would you want them to take the position that is meant for Southwest? So Okowa is Igbo. I have no doubt about that. I love him and respect him for that. When it comes to geopolitical balancing, he is South, and he has to allow what has to do with Southeast.
That if Tinubu had made
Yes.
a pope or a bishop or pastor,
Yes.
his advice, would the Southeast have voted for him quickly?
Now, when you want a region or a geopolitical zone to vote for you, what do you have for them?
Okay.
That is politics. It's about the interest of my people. Our people that have been ruling us have been very, very, very extravagant in their failure, just as the Senator Adamu has been publicly proclaiming his proclivity to primordial sentiments.
All right.
Now, my people must learn to negotiate their interest in order to give their votes.
All
that they
right,
have
we
not
must
done.
thank you so much. Kenneth Okonkwo is a former member of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, an actor, lawyer, businessman, and all of that. We must thank you so much, especially for your passion for Nigeria.
Okay,
And
for your
that's
passion for Nigeria. They are thanking you so much for your passion for Nigeria. So at least you gave us your peace that we are able to use to hold against you and what you believe in. That is exactly what we just did. And then having to wrap it up, because we are going to wrap it up. It's already 1 hour into this program. We are live and we are direct. It is 9 minutes before the top of the hour, regardless of your place of domicile. There is some analysis that I received here with regards to where your funds go, and the reason why there is a saying that says the poor will continue to get poorer while the rich will continue to be richer. And you begin to ask yourself why. You will now come to that position where I said again that the only way we are able to navigate our problems is to be able to build a structure that we are familiar with. And where are we going to build that structure that we are familiar with? Is first of all, we need to do disintegration of the current structure given to you by Lord Lugard, British, protectorate or colonial protectorate, or you will call it British ancestors, which the structure they have given to you. This structure have deprived you of your right to live, deprive you of your right to vote, deprive you of your right to freedom of expression, deprive you of your right to freedom of association, deprive you of your right of being a human being, which is called human right in put together. So that same structure have killed you. The structure have killed you. The structure has destroyed your future. The structure has given you a generational curse. The structure is never working for you, and it will never work. The only way to try something else, because you cannot continue to try the same thing, the same method. You are using the same method year after year, month after month, decades after decades. Nigeria, you talk about century after century. They are using the same method and they are expecting a different result using the same method century after century. And you tell me that these people, they are going to integrate, that these people, they will ever understand their problem. As there is a saying, a wise man says that he who does not know where he meet the rain will not know where he will leave the rain behind. Onye amara ebe mmiri nọ mabịa ama mma ebe ọ nọ kwụsị. Otu ahụ ka ọ dị. So Nigeria does not know where their problem lies. How will they solve a solution of their problem? That is now what is bringing me to the analysis this journalist did with regards to how they furnish the ex-governors of Nigeria states. Let us go there. We have like 10 minutes into there. We call it a day.
Eating more than is adequate, especially in the face of scarcity, for the majority could be termed greed or gluttony. Pen chop, pension. I recently stumbled on a letter dated the 17th day of October 2019, purportedly written by former governor of Zamfara State, Honorable Abdul Aziz Yari, where he was complaining about non-payment of his retirement upkeep of 10 million naira monthly. That's heavy. He stated that the last time he received the said sum was in July.
10 million naira is a payment of governor, which they call retirement upkeep. Do you call it pension? Which it is called pension. 10 million naira. Why do you think the rich will always get richer while you as a poor class will always be poor? Regardless of how do brain also get poor, inside Nigeria, you will still remain poor. Because the structure that was given to you is a structure that is going to make you to remain poor. Only the political class That is the reason why when you look around Nigeria, you will never find a common man clamoring for one Nigeria. The only people you will always find talking about one Nigeria today is the political class. A fact. The political class. And that is the reason why, if they are doubting it, they should organize a referendum. Then we will be able to understand now if our statistics is accurate. Excuse me. So the political class will continue to clamor for one Nigeria because so many of them, they are political class. They are given political appointment even in abroad. Just like Tinubu, is it not? No, Atiku. I did not mention Atiku when I was talking about all these political tags that are lining up this as a presidential aspirant or presidential candidate. So I did not talk about him, Atiku. When you talk about all this political class and you look at their history, you will understand that all their history, they have fraudulent history. What politicians they learned recently now is to create an offshore account. When they create an offshore account, using it to do money laundering or to launder money that belongs to the ordinary people, that money that is supposed to use for service in Nigeria, money that is supposed to be used for infrastructural development. Just like Serap, they have sued the man in Aso Rock. Of course, they are deceiving themselves because they know that the mask wearer in Aso Rock, who is, once this tenor finish, he will remove the mask and disappear. And they will tell you he died of plane crash or Boko Haram killed him. You will know he must have he went and joined his people, which is Boko Haram, on the agenda of Islamization of this contraption called Nigeria. Now, now take us to this news or this analysis or the lamentation of one Zamfara state governor, Yari, demanding payment of 10 billion monthly allowance. This is just monthly allowance, so you pay to your ex-governors. 10 million every month, which is 10 million times 12, is how much? 120 million. If I am not mistaken, 120 million, right? 10 times 12, 120 million. That is exactly what these ex-governors, which means once you become a governor and you retire, all you need to do is just sit in your house, receive 10 million every month, and without doing anything. Now the country is going down, 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 down every day. No wonder they kill themselves every day when there is time of election coming up. No wonder they kill everything that is in their way. If they pay 10 million to ordinary governor, what do you think they are going to pay to a president? And you expect the country to move forward. What is the GDP of Nigeria? That is the first question you need to ask Nigeria. What is their GDP? And according to the statistics, this money that they're supposed to use to service their debt or to, bring the inflation rate down, they are using it to pay government. Unemployment is skyrocketed high, inflation rate high, debt high, and they have this money to pay governors. This is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And you look at human being, and they will look at you and tell you something good will come out of Nigeria tomorrow. That person, you should see that person as an animal. Anybody who will rise up to tell you Nigeria is going to work tomorrow, that person is not a human being. Because the only thing that is selfish is animal, because they prey on other animals. That is selfishness. Preying on other animals is selfishness. You see these carnivorous human beings, they're telling you Nigeria will be good tomorrow. And you will be there. You are the one who is always feeling the spikes. You are on the receiving end of all this problem, all these calamities, all these atrocities, atrocious, behaviors of these so-called political leaders. And tomorrow they say it will be good. You say, I agree. And tomorrow somebody will come out from their creek and tell you, go and get PVC. Go and determine your vote. The question I keep asking Barack Obama, prior to the time he said to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. The question I keep asking that American President Emeritus, Barack Obama, did he check the lifestyle of Nigeria politicians? Did he ever come to Nigeria as a governor when he was an American president? Because he said to be an African man. Did he visit Nigeria before he started dictating or advertising that to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done? Did he ever visited Nigeria before? Of course, the answer is no. Because he cannot visit Nigeria. Rather, he will be where he is when he does not understand. And that gives you to that knowledge of understanding the selfishness of Ndisoji, the selfishness of a black man. You don't know what I am going through and you don't care to know. You haven't checked. All you tell me is to remain there. That is a selfishness of black people. Because he's from Africa, it runs in his blood. That is exactly the reason why he would make such statements. After making such statements, now Buhari came, or after advertising for Buhari, Buhari came in 2015, 16, and after 2 years, Buhari died. And they wear an imposter, a mask. The imposter and to keep Nigeria one is still a task that must be done. How are you going to keep something that you have never been around it to understand the problems that people are facing? And you are telling them, you are opposing the demands of the people of that nation. Is that not evil? Is that not wickedness? That is the highest evil that you will ever know that exists. African people are selfish to themselves. That is what is called self-hate. Selfish to yourself. You hate yourself. That is the reason why you can never move forward. When you see an African man trying to grow, you want to kill them because you don't want them to grow. You hate yourself growing. Do you know the reason why Ejisuno woman FF? Woman FF because if somebody around you, there is no electricity in your community, somebody around you, he will be forced to bring electricity to the community. Even if you don't have it in your house, the one out in his house will be showing you light on the road. But when you self-hate yourself, you will not understand these things because you don't understand the meaning of loving thyself. Love thy neighbor as you love thyself. Love your people. It takes me back to this thing of P2B. You don't love your people. You want to tell us you love Nigeria. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. You don't even love yourself. You want to love Nigeria. That is how it is. People who don't know your problem are coming to give you solution to your problem. People who never experience what you are experiencing is coming to tell you that to keep Nigeria one is a tax that must be done. You know, if we are indeed a good, if Africa are indeed people who understand, understand the right of people, we're supposed to actually call Obama for questioning. To ask Obama, have you ever visited Nigeria before? The answer is no. Have you ever tried to find out the life of a common people in Nigeria? The answer is no. Have you ever interviewed a common man in Nigeria? The answer is no. Then why did you come to that conclusion to say to keep Nigeria one under the neo-colonial structure that is killing people, enriching the riches, and impoverishing the poor? That the riches, which is the political class, will make this poor class a prey. They are prey. The same thing that led Ike Ekweremadu to go and take a poor boy. Why did Ike Ekweremadu not use one of his political friends' son? Or does it mean Ike Ekweremadu have only one child? Why did he not use the other child of his to save the other one? This is to show you, this is the reason why they impoverish you. Abject poverty. That they will make you to dance to their tone at any time that they want you to. Once they show you small note that is inconsequential in the world, because Nigerian naira is inconsequential in the world. Nigerian naira, it is no money. Once they show you that same naira, you will sell your pride. You will sell everything. You will remember, no, I will build a mansion. You build a mansion and stay in that mansion in an insecure environment. Tomorrow, you will be kidnapped by those who is looking for their own money to build a mansion. You don't understand how we recycle crime. Because if you say divide the national cake, let everybody get it equally. Everybody now will now start thinking of security because you need to protect what you have. You cannot have as in and the only thing the only thing that will be at the back of their mind all the time. How do I have? That is the reason why so many young Nigeria youth resulted into Yahoo because they want to have. They want to give security to themselves. They want to give security to their parents. They want to give security to their offspring, if need be. Now, some of them who does not understand, or some of them who thinks like Nigeria politicians, they want to use their parents for money ritual. Forgetting that the money that you will make without you enjoying it with your parents, without using it to, make your parents to be outstanding within the community, it is not sweet. It's not a good money. This is exactly what the poverty that the political class has placed the normal people, ordinary people rather, in Nigeria. This is the result of it. But so many of you does not understand the psychology or the analogy. And that is the reason why we will continue to suffer, because we don't understand. We undermine things. Things that we are undermining in Nigeria is the things that is making us to die, making us to live in an insecure environment, in a polluted environment. Why is it that in the last 60 years of independence, which you so-called celebrate every year, there is no electricity? There are some countries within Nigeria that will supply electricity. They have steady electricity, right? Why is it that you don't have? Because of the evil politics that is playing in Nigeria, because of the tap root. The grassroots of it is the structure that British gave to you. Unless you demolish that structure, you will never go anywhere. Look at the structure. Paying ex-governor. After embezzling and stealing the whole money of the state, they will be paid 10 million allowance. 10 million every month. You see it in front of you. 10 million allowance. 10 million every month. Monthly allowance. Ex-governor. Once you become a governor, you are set for life. Just like Obiano now. You see that the EFCC arrested him quickly. After that, he will start receiving his 10 million, no matter how much he stole. Because the reason why I'm mentioning the people from the East, because charity begins from home. We are talking about our people, because when we get our Biafra, we will hold everybody accountable, regardless of whom you are. It is Biafra for accountability, where there will be no inequality, no nepotism, no favoritism. That is the Biafra that we are promoting to achieve. That is exactly the nation that we are trying to build. The nation that we know our challenges, we now find a way to mitigate those that might get out of hand tomorrow. That is exactly the Biafra we are looking for. And that is the same Biafra we are going to achieve. Regardless of current concern, all we are looking for is Biafra. It is our only hope. The British structure is not our hope. British structure is generational curse. British structure is, or British oligarchy is generational curse. That every day your prophet will be telling you there is generational curse. And you are praying. You are praying. Tomorrow you wake up on top of British structure. It is still generational curse. You are praying. You have faith. They now push it to you. Have faith. Tomorrow it will be all right. You are praying every day. After a governor stealing the whole money that is meant for the state, that same governor is going to be getting 10 million naira as a congratulation for stealing and embezzling the whole money of Anambra State. Congratulations for bringing terrorists in Zamfara State. Congratulations for nurturing terrorists in Kaduna State with 10 million naira. What do you call that? You are recycling poverty. You are nurturing poverty. Instead of eradicating it, you are recycling corruption. Instead of eradicating it, or rather mitigating it at least, you are actually recycling them. That is what Nigeria is doing. Nigeria politics does not love any person except themselves. Nigeria structure does not love any other person except themselves. So when we talk about this structure, there are people who are nurturing it. They are the people who are like carnivorous animal. They feed on their selves, or they feed on the other animals, the ones they will be able to defeat in fight. They feed on them. And they will tell you that a lion is the king of the jungle. The same way your politician is the king of the structure. They prey on you until you change the kingdom, until you seek the kingdom. Until you seek the kingdom, you will never come out of this bondage. And that kingdom you are going to seek is the solution. And the only solution you are going to find is the disintegration of the neo-colonial structure, or the old colonial structure, rather. Because the neo-colonial structure is Fulani trying to now, that are the way they are trying to Fulanize you. They want to bring a new colonialism. By Fulanizing you, bringing to you a Sharia law. And we say it looks like a joke. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said it, was it in the 8th? He said it, I think, 8th of October 2015. When he said they are coming, the ISIS in West Africa, that they are coming to kill you, they are coming to Fulanize you. You thought it was a joke. That the Boko Haram you see is a baby. You thought it was a joke. What is happening today? How many years ago was that prophecy given? How many years ago was that information released? 2015 to 2022 is how many years ago? 7 years, almost a decade. Almost a decade. Ndisoji, we don't pay attention. We don't pay attention. On emotional thing, when we are quoting law, quoting constitution, we are acting like we are more intelligent than others. Education is not the amount of English that you are putting together. Education is being able to digest information and reciprocate that information. Education is the only is not being able to understand your colonial language. Because I know that so many of you who speak better colonial language more than me, you will now tell me that I don't have the stand to talk about Nigeria politics or to talk about Biafra because you are illiterate. Maybe you understand your colonial language, your colonial vernacular. And according to you, you are more intelligent than me. According to you, because maybe I cannot quote it in vocabulary the way you are able to put yours. And you will find it that you are more intelligent than me. No, you are an illiterate. Education works with information. Education is being able to process information and facilitate this information and bring it out in a manner that it will be educative and innovative. That is education. Because a lot of you now, when somebody maybe when somebody is trying to analyze something to you, just because we understand that not all of us are now able to understand our language. We don't have a common language that we will be able to speak to each other, that we will be able to understand. And we now use English, adopt our colonial language or our colonial vernacular. English is the British vernacular. The same way that your language is your vernacular. Have you ever thought of maybe if they started teaching you in Biafra land, you will teach us physics and chemistry in our language? In Biafra land, you must teach us physics and chemistry with our language, the one our mother tongue. We are familiar with it. When you teach us, imagine teaching you physics and chemistry in your language. Imagine how much you will love it. Not placing your exam question in a grammar that you never hear before. By the time you go and look for dictionary to decode this grammar or to break it down, now the examiner will say time up. Do you know what that means? That is another way of colonialism. Every rich country, every free country of the world, they make use of their language in every subject they are teaching. They make use of their language. If you want to adopt another language, it is up to you. It is your choice. But their basics must work with their language. Just like if you go to Brazil, if you go to Germany, if you go to South America, they adopt their language. Does not make them an illiterate. When you want to speak with them in English or in the national television, you must bring an interpreter. Maybe they even know the language, but they chose to speak the one that they promote to their mother tongue. Does not make them an illiterate. It makes them to be called those who understand the power of language. The power of language. Because your language is your power. You allow Britain to manipulate you and bring you your exam paper in English. You don't understand it. Imagine if you read English with physics and you come out with first class upper. What about if you read it with your mother tongue? You will break record of the whole world. They make you to struggle. Everything that you need to do, you must struggle with it first. That is exactly how it is. So those of you who are telling me I do not have the capacity to talk about Nigeria politics or talk about whatever you believe that you know better, I call you an illiterate. Not only an illiterate, you are a moron. A sophisticated moron, because you can talk you can speak your vocabulary more than me. So you are sophisticated moron. And when you think those things that you are writing in that comment section that they move me, it is driving me, because I have worked with people who matters. I have worked with people, like I have been friends with people who rule the world. You know, I have been friends with them. And at the end of the day, when you understand that being free in life is being able to speak your mind, being free in life is being able to speak it the way you understand it, being free is being able to let it out without fear or favor of anybody, regardless of who get hurt or who it pains. It doesn't matter. All you need to do, speak it out. That's what will save you in future. Say the truth and shame the devil. That is the way it is. So let us actually hear from this guy, and let's hear the analysis he gave about your governors who earn 10 million every month, and you are struggling to pay your child's school fees just because they place him in a position where he steal the state money. No road is fixed, no electricity is fixed, everything is in disarray. At the end of the day, they bless them with 10 million naira every month. Let us hear from the analysis, because
And
I find it
requested that
interesting.
by the pension law of Zamfara State, his pension and upkeep allowance are not in the categories of privileges that can be truncated without any justifiable reason. Grammar. It's not news that Nigeria spends close to 40 billion naira on pension for former governors and former deputy governors in Nigeria annually. Majority of these former chief executives are drawing this humongous payout despite the lean resources of their states. Wickedness. These allowances, which are similar in nature across the various states, ranges from vehicle renewal and maintenance, housing allowance and salaries, medical benefits for themselves and their families. According to the recent survey, over 36.3 billion was expended on servicing 47 former governors from 21 states of the Federation
Imagine.
in pension payment and provisions of houses for staffs and motor vehicle replacement between 3 and 4 years.
As if they are the owner of the country. Tomorrow they will tell you they are going to take loan from China to service. They take loan to service debt. They take loan to do this. But where is those money going? They are going to your ex-criminals. That's where it is going. Let's continue and finalize.
According to the said report, payment of pensions to former governor for over a 4-year cycle are highest in Bauchi, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Kwara, Zamfara, Edo, and Lagos State, with former governors drawing well over 40 billion naira over these 4 years. Even poor states like Kwara that can't pay workers' salaries are not left out, but a country. Shameful.
Okay.
These pensions and allowances are outside the prescribed 300% severance packages for governors by the revenue mobilization.
They cannot pay ordinary individuals salary. They cannot pay normal pensioners salary, their pensions, but they will pay 10 million to ex-governors. I think during the NSAS protest, many people talked about this, but now they have forgotten it and they are clamoring for PVC because your brain is no longer working. The sun that is beating you in that contraption, the sun and that anwụ ọkọchị, That one culture na chow no chawachu you see, sometimes including those who call themselves celebrities, because a lot of them are living image. They are living image. They don't even understand. If you see them where they rush food, you understand that these people, they are living image. They are nothing. They don't even have that thing you believe they have. They live according to what they borrow to show on social media at that point in time. That is the reason why when it comes to when one politician say hi to them, the reason why they present to themselves as if they are doing good, so that during the time like this that they need to convince their mugus that it is through ballot box instead of referendum, that you will find your integration to a new contraption called Nigeria. Now they will convince you because now maybe they acted a movie that you watched, which made you emotional, which is the movie that made you to want to be a money ritualist, or they sang a song that you liked. They will want to convince you. You will think that it is the lifestyle they show you on social media they are living. They are suffering like you. They're even suffering more than you. They get stressed more than you because they need to borrow. They need to borrow to show you. And they are the people who is trying to convince you to go and get your PVC. Instead of you promoting the referendum, promoting the referendum movement. Let us have referendum. Let us indeed know whether it is we that is voting for these people in power or them that is voting for themselves. They shouldn't deceive you, because after election, what you are going to see is selection. It is not your vote does not count in Nigeria. Your PVC does not count. That is just a formality. A formality that you need to do in order to enable them to manipulate the vote. Because if they did not tell you to go to get your PVC, at least the free world will not, if they did, we will now see that it is obvious that these people are rigging the election. They just use you to enslave you. That's what they do. They use you to create the formality in order to enslave you, because your vote does not count. Take it to the bank, you will see it cashing. Your vote in Nigeria is inconsequential. That is exactly what it is. Let us continue.
Commission as provided for in the certain political office holders and judicial officers remuneration act. A look at the pension law of Rivers, Kwara, Edo, Zamfara, Lagos, Bauchi, and Akwa Ibom will reveal a lot of similarities. But I will summarize all by peeping into the pension for former governors, laws of Lagos State as a benchmark. Now let me shock you. Listen to this. 100% annual basic of equivalent salary for life for a former governor. The former governor gets 6 new cars
for life
every 3 years, even if he's opening a car.
This is for life, oh. So every 8 years or 4 years, you are producing a new governor for life, oh. Then the allocation that's supposed to go for development of the youth, the employment for the youth, the infrastructural development, the healthcare system facilities, the electricities, it will continue to extend to these individuals who call themselves the governor emeritus of your state. And you might be thinking that these things, they don't count. I am not an economist, but I don't need to be an economist to talk about this. Because Nigeria does not have money. Even though they are oil producing country, they do not have anything. Inflation rate tells you that. The statistics, the debt tells you that. Infrastructure tells you that. Because the money they have is the one they use to service themselves as politicians. When you cry too much, they will just end SARS and bring SWAT. That's what they do. If you cry too much, they end SARS and bring a bubago. Now, are you understanding it? Hi, the more you look, the less you see. Daily lily.
Car shop. Deputy gets 3 or 5 cars every 3 years. The former governor gets a house in Lagos and in Abuja, any place of his choice. Why the deputy gets a house in Lagos only? Free medical care for the governor, his deputy, and their families for life. They are also entitled to cooks, steward, gardeners, and domestic staffs, all pensionable. Worst of all, 300% of annual basic salaries every 2 years as furniture allowance for the governor and his deputy. Also, 100% of annual basic salaries as house maintenance allowance. The house you build, you still maintain it for them. 2 DSS officials, 1 female officer, of course, for madam, and 8 policemen. No wonder there are none left to guard the rest of us.
Wow.
Deputy governor gets 1 DSS operatives, 2 policemen. And then, listen to this also. 25% of annual salaries for personal assistants. You must get personal assistants. 30% of annual basic salaries as car maintenance. So those 6 cars, you still maintain them for them, in spite of what they had taken while in office.
Wow.
20% of annual basic salary also as utility allowance, no name. Pensionable drivers, no limit to the numbers. And finally, severance benefits, like 300%. Despite all these, some of these former governors still turn the Senate into a retirement home, while others are ministers, all drawing salaries in spite of these pensions.
Are you listening?
Unfortunately, the entitlements they enjoy are far more than what political office holders in developed and rich countries enjoy.
Greedy dogs. That's what you have. Greedy dogs. They will never get enough. They will never get enough.
More of why we will continually remain a developing country. You can't close your eyes to this ugly trend and pretend to fight corruption. It's impossible. We all must realize that we are the ones in opposition in Nigeria and not the political office holders in either APC or PDP. And we can't build a strong and virile country where public institutions work by emptying the state treasury to take care of a few who govern the state for a maximum of 8 years, while those that served the states during their youthful years for 35 years are dying by installment for lack of pension. My advocacy today would be, if we remove the houses in Lagos and Abuja, the 300 and 100% of annual basic for furniture allowances and house maintenance allowance, cut down the number of cars to 2 per 5 years and reduce the number of policemen to just 2, we would have saved enough to fund or fix some of these dilapidated roads and abandon public hospitals.
That is the way I saw it. And that brings us to the end of this program. Of course, if you have ears, you hear it. If you don't have ears, keep wallowing in your ignorance. Keep wallowing in your ignorance until you are consumed. Because the problem of a black man is ignorance and self-hate and recycling of failure. One way or the other, direct and indirect. But until we meet again, stay safe, follow your stats, follow your statistics. Very, very important. Maybe you will be able to, understand what I am talking about today. For now, bye-bye.